what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1992 Chrysler LeBaron Convertible. Up front is a 3.0 liter V6 and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Chrysler LeBaron Convertible because I love these older K-platform vehicles. It's sunny and I'm in a convertible and it's a beautiful shade of teal. And so that checks most of my boxes when it comes to a retro cruiser. I'm excited to share this one with you today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 3-liter V6 under the hood. Well, there were 4-cylinder options offered here in the LeBaron, but this one does have the V6, which was manufactured and designed actually by Mitsubishi. It's a Mitsubishi 3-liter, although it does say Chrysler on the top. It's actually from Mitsubishi because they had those ties together for DSMs and things like that. I really enjoy the power from the V6. You don't really need much more, especially in a more relaxed cruising car. Are you gonna cut up the drag strip at Route 66 during the next event? Probably not. But for going around town, it definitely has some pep in its step towards the lower end, which is what you would want for a more relaxed vehicle, and that's what I get. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. To say that this transmission is problematic might be the understatement of the year. This particular car that I'm driving right now is on its 4th transmission in the last 30 years. That is quite wild. The Chrysler products in this generation and this era do not have strong transmissions. It always ends up being the Achilles heel of these vehicles. The otherwise lovely vehicles to drive, 4-speeds just give up. The transmissions just give up. And so that is definitely something to note if you are looking for one of these on the secondhand market. Be wary that it might have transmission issues, and when I say might, it most certainly probably does. Last but not least, of course, the LeBaron Convertible is front-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the LeBaron Convertible? It's lovely. I've really enjoyed my time with it. The V6 is nice and smooth and gives me all the power that I'd want. It rides decent. Again, you have to remember this is a 32-year-old car, and so time is of course a factor, but it has a nice ride, and you know, I'm out here in the sunshine. I'm good. I'm having a good day, and that's all I can really ask for from a vehicle like this. I love it. It puts a smile on my face. I get to catch maybe a little bit of a tan. Yeah, maybe I'll go get a sandwich later on, or maybe some ice cream, something like that. Not too shabby of a day. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 very plain gauges. Off to the left is my coolant temperature and battery voltage. In the center is the speedometer, and off to the right is my fuel. Around the outside of the gauges, we do have our headlight options and our wiper options. Kind of an interesting placement up around here, but definitely a holdover from the 80s. This was really common in the 80s and early 90s, but then went away. On the steering wheel, I do have my horn buttons as well as my cruise control down below, known as speed control. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, and moving on to the door, we have our power mirrors, power locks, and power window adjustments. Moving into the center, we do get this really long plastic piece for our warning lights that says LeBaron. Really like that touch. 2 climate control vents and our climate controls. Very simple, basic here. Temperature up to the top, fan speed to the left, where to send it to the right, and of course our rear defrost. And then we have an aftermarket radio, because pretty much any radio from the early 90s isn't going to keep up with modern tech, even though this itself won't keep up with modern tech. This is a rather retro unit. Down below we have 2 cubby options and the ashtray with a cigarette lighter in it. And then we'll move on to the shifter and the handbrake. Now, nothing really too crazy to see here. Of course, that shifter does power that automatic transmission, and I like the big chunky button up at the top. It has a nice tactile feel, and I've always adored that about Chryslers from this era. Then we do have our convertible top option, so it does have a power convertible top. You would remove the tonneau cover that goes over it, power up, nice and simple. A little cubby and no cup holders here in the 92 LeBaron Convertible, so unfortunately yet predictably, it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Little center console with some coin holders. And then we'll talk about the seats. The seats are finished in this nice, really light leather. It is perforated, and honestly, it really, really helps out again with that cruiser sort of feel that the LeBaron is so good at giving me. It's a comfortable seat for a comfortable cruising car, and that's all I can ask for. However, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so getting in the back of the LeBaron convertible, a lot easier when the roof isn't on, and we're back here. I fit okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not great either. Would I want to be stuck back here driving out to Carlisle, PA? No, but you know, that's fine. I ended up finding out, if you guys watched my last LeBaron video, I had no idea what these little things over here were. They're actually to hold the tonneau cover on. So thank you to everyone that commented that, as well as John for actually having a tonneau cover for me to show off how those work. I was very confused by them in the last car that I reviewed, so that's something. I also do have these little corner windows that do come up and down. However, they are incredibly problematic and break on almost every LeBaron. They just stop going up or stop going down or get stuck somewhere in the middle. And so I am not going to mess with those today, but there are little corner windows that do come up. The overall seats are comfortable and cushy. I do like the material. It's very early 90s, which just early 90s seats, just they hug you and it's so nice. And so that's how these seats are. I can't imagine. Oh, on a sunny day, breeze in your hair. Come on. Doesn't get much better than that. And that is lovely. Let's hop into the trunk. We'll take a look back there, and then we'll talk about the looks and this awesome teal paint. So around the back of the LeBaron, something that's interesting is that it actually uses one key for the ignition and the trunk. Very, very nice to see that. Once we are back here, this is the original radio. The owner, John, was kind enough to leave that in there for us, which is absolutely awesome. Spare tire here. Of course, the convertible top does eat up a little bit of your space, but not anything too crazy. That is the trunk space of a 92 LeBaron. Now we gotta talk about the looks. And garage door headlights aside, this color and these are absolutely awesome. I love them so much. It's so retro, so 90s, so period correct. I absolutely love seeing it. I could look at this car all day, and the owner might not say so, but I'm saying it here today. This is quite nearly a showroom example of the LeBaron convertible. I do not think I will find a better one, and this has 196,000 miles on it. Just really goes to show what proper maintenance and ownership care can do for a vehicle. However, with all of this being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving another 1992 Chrysler LeBaron convertible? Well, I've really enjoyed my experience. I think a lot of people get in their heads or get the wrong idea about these cars. If you set your sights properly, you'll realize how fun these cars can be just going around town. It's not meant to chop up the boulevard. It's not meant to offer any crazy driving experience. But look, I have the top down. It's a sunny day. The wind is in my hair. I have plenty of power from that V6 because the inline 4 does cough and stumble over itself quite a bit. The V6 is the way to go if you want a better driving experience. But I'm just having fun. I'm having a goof. I'm having a goof, ladies and gentlemen. It's just simple. It's nice. Yes, it has its issues. Yes, it's on its 4th transmission. Yes, there are several electrical gremlins that are incredibly hard to track down. But at the end of the day, when it is working properly, it's a little smile machine. And I find it incredibly interesting that in this era, actually 1992 specifically, Chrysler made 6,000 coupes. It was like 5,600 something coupes. But then they sold 40,000 convertibles for 1992. So convertible is most certainly the way, and I completely understand why, having enjoyed one on this fine, crisp summer morning. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to John for letting me take out his LeBaron convertible. John has been absolutely wonderful to work with, and it's just so cool to be driving a vehicle like this, so well kept, so well preserved by the owner. And that is all thank you to John and his family for taking care of this car over the last 30 years. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.